Jennette's mom was a narcissist, okay? And she spread her emotional abuse not only onto Jennette, but to everyone in the house. We're gonna talk about that more, and we're gonna talk about Dan Snyder, how he affected her growth. And now, there are two reasons why I originally wanted to read the book. First reason was growing up, iCarly was my favorite TV show. That and Victorious, those shows. Since after that, everyone knows Jennette wasn't really on anymore, or at least not acting in the area that I was watching as a kid. And my second reason for wanting to get this book was because I recently watched the documentary series Quiet on Set, and it made me want to know what he specifically did to her, because it's expressed that in Victorious and in iCarly there are a lot of disturbing scenes, and so many other Nickelodeon series, but I watched Victorious and I watched iCarly and it showed that a lot too, so I wanted to hear her perspective on that. Set, they expose that in Jennette's memoir, she is talking about how the creator, Dan Snyder, has the power to make you feel special and also has the ability to make you feel worthless. And after that interaction, they mention him again and they talk about how Jennette has to wear a bathing suit, I think it's bikini specifically, and how she had to try on a few of them because the creator wanted options. And then on top of that, she didn't want to try on any, and they made her take pictures, and how uncomfortable and how out of her skin she felt for having to do that. And then one of the next interactions that they show with the creator is him, Jennette, and her mom come to lunch or dinner and discuss how he's promising her a show in the future. And so immediately I'm like, oh yeah, he must be talking about the Sam and Cat show, the spin-off. And he actually mentions a different show that I had never heard of, and it's called Just Puckett. What? There is no Just Puckett show. But apparently he was just saying that he would give her her own show by herself. At one point throughout the iCarly series, during a time being when they are off set, Dan Snyder approaches Jennette and he's offering her alcohol. It's whiskey and coffee, something along those lines. And she's like, no, I'm good, I don't think it's appropriate for me to be, drinking this right now, maybe we shouldn't, And he's like, something along those lines, don't be a stick in the mud, the Victorious kids do it all the time. And then Jennette mentions that he mentions the Victorious kids all the time as a way to make them jealous, make them feel inferior, or feel like they need to catch up. And then also, now you may be wondering, okay, so Jennette had all of these situations where she did things that she didn't want to do. Why didn't she say anything? If it was so bad, why didn't she speak up? Well, readers, I'll let you know that she did try to speak up, and it did not work out. There would be times where she wouldn't feel comfortable or she wouldn't want to do something, and she would ask her mom about it or tell her. For example, one of the times she told her mom that she no longer wanted to act, and her mom bawled out into tears. She told her that she has to love acting, of course you love acting, and really breaking down into tears and screaming and yelling, just a whole tantrum. Jennette, as a child, is disturbed, uncomfortable, and she says, you know what, never mind, I'm sorry. Forget I have an opinion. I'm good. I don't want to upset you, is essentially their interaction. And Jennette's mom leans on this all of the time. Anytime that there is any sort of conflict or disagreement and it goes against what the mom wants for Jennette, then the mom breaks out into a tantrum. So Jennette stops fighting. She just goes along with what her mom says, even if she's not given an explanation, because she's sure that her mom is always right. Do you hear the sirens? Do you hear the red flags? Are you concerned? Because you should be. Back to Jennette McCurdy. We find out that anorexia is just the beginning of her eating disorders. After that, we end up in a binge state when she leaves to go on a tour, because she was like trying out music a little bit, because her mom and her manager were saying like that was like all the hype or whatever. And so she went, and she wasn't there for mom because her mom's cancer had relapsed. Crazy. And so her mom was like, go on the tour, and she goes on the tour and there's food, and so she's eating it. And she's not just eating it, she's like overindulging, and she's binge eating more than she should be. And she comes back and she made way more or something. And what I think hits me the worst is that her mom's like, you look ugly, because she's noticing like the extra weight that her daughter gained. And I'm like, guys, after her mom dies, she's like wanting to eat but also feeling very guilty about it. So she becomes bulimic, and she's purging, and then she's throwing up whatever she eats. And that hurts my soul for her. Like, I feel like I think the most heartbreaking part in this book for me was when Jennette went to go see her mom in the hospital, and she'd written a script. She showed her mom the script and told her that she'd made it. And her mom's first thing that she says is, I hope you don't like writing scripts more than you like acting. First thing, straight off the rip, doesn't ask any questions about the story. She doesn't ask if she liked it. She doesn't say what gave you the idea. Nothing of any concern or any nurturing qualities. She's immediately like gaslighting her, manipulating her into feeling bad about maybe enjoying writing. And of course, Jennette knows that she likes writing like 10 times more, and she's never even liked acting. But because she knows that it would hurt her mom, she says, of course not. Like, I love acting. And that really hurt my heart, because she pushed her passions down, or even like attempting to want it, because of how her mom made her feel for having an interest outside of acting. Thank you, faerie scribers, so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It would mean a lot if you would like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.